Coming to a city near you. Lock your doors. Hide the lawn gnomes. No one's safe unless you know about Project X.
Hello, I'm John Killian.
And I'm David Altenhofen.
And today you'll learn how to build a green machine.
So, if you ever find yourself a little short on cash, money, and you want to build yourself a nice little cool propelled board, well, have no fear. We're going to show you how to do it with a bunch of recycled parts today.
And as long as your neighbors are okay with a few broken windows, you'll have no problem.
Warning, do not try this at home.
Time for a list of all the parts that we needed to use to build this apparatus. 2 old windshield wiper motors. 4 relays, 4 on-off push-button switches, scrap wood and plywood, 4 wheels,
1 stamp microcontroller, 1 car battery,
and a bunch of wire.
So take all these items, throw them together, mix them for 3 to 5 minutes on high, and you should hopefully get yourself a really awesome propelled board. Good luck in your endeavors. We're going to get a little bit nerdy on you for a little bit, but bear with us and then we'll get to more of the exciting, cool stuff that might lose an arm or two, something fun like that.
Thanks for that. Anyways, so the programming for the stamp is in P-Basic, and as you can see, it's a very simple programming language, and all we did was all we did was compare if a button was pushed or not. If button 1 is pushed and button 3 is pushed, then output to whatever relays we need it to be. And so you do that for every button and combination, and that's the entire program basically. Down at the bottom you can see we have some debugs that outputs the values of whatever button is pushed. This is just so if we can see a button is or isn't pushed, and helped with the debugging of everything. And you might see this move variable, and it just helps keep track of what the board is actually doing. Other than that though, it's a very simple program, and it all goes inside a loop, so it just keeps looping over. But that's it. Gonna have to cut off part of it. So you might be wondering, gosh, how did they do their wonderful circuits? Well, it wasn't easy. At first we were using the stamp, and it couldn't provide enough oomph or enough current. And so we hooked it up to a transistor, and it still wasn't working well enough. So we switched the setup to what is actually recommended by the stamp company. It is this circuit here. Even this circuit wasn't working for whatever reason, and so we switched to the simplest possible circuit. Literally, the push buttons were in series with the relays, which are hooked up to the power supply, and that's it. It's extremely simple, yes, and it's actually very effective, but it doesn't provide the speed variation we originally intended, but we wanted it to get moving, so that's what we did.
In the production of our project, we used a lot of precise calculations, and every once in a while we had a few rough assumptions and guesstimations for the proper way to build our board and attach, for example, wheels, which seemed to be one of our downfalls, that had a tough time mounting a lawnmower wheel onto a splined windshield wiper motor. Who would have ever thought? But that wasn't as easy as we originally assumed. So here's a quick clip of what our wheel would tend to do when we applied power with our motor to it, and why it wasn't really considered functionable. Go for it. Here we got two short little clips showing our motors operating based on us pushing our buttons on, off, reverse, forward, just having a little bit of fun playing with them, showing that our motors are turning, wheels are spinning a little bit.
If that's not the sound of victory, I don't know what is.
Warning, do not try what you are about to witness. This was performed by professionals on a closed circuit.
Test 1. Oh. Maybe we got a little ahead of ourselves. So what went wrong, you might ask? Well, basically, mechanical error and stamp deficiency. The mechanical error was that we couldn't keep our wheels on, and that's kind of an issue when you're trying to drive places. The second, the stamp deficiency, actually it's probably more human deficiency. For the life of us, we've spent many hours trying to figure out how to get the stamps to run the relays, but for whatever reason, the time was not permitting us to continue working, so we decided to just get it driving, and so we went straight to just relays being controlled by the buttons. And as you can see, after we did that, then we had the mechanical error, and just totally our spirits were crushed.
Well, I'm John Killian,
And I'm David Altenhofen.
and this is the end.
I think in conclusion we can pretty much say we wasted a lot of time to build a pretty elaborate paperweight. So, if you have some really big posters you need to keep down, get in contact with us and we'll see what we can do for you. Because I mean, I don't think this bad boy is going to be running anybody over anytime soon. So, I guess there's no video to keep you updated for next week. So, fun ride.